Okay, hello everyone. You should do the streams for Code Forces contest also, right? Today's G was, I think, similar to one of the YouTube videos that I had covered on segmentary. No, I think somebody mentioned to me on LinkedIn. Okay, today's G was on the same idea on the segmentary that you had taught, and yeah, this will be another best video for practicing hard problems. Absolutely. Probably this channel has become a non-beginner friendly channel because of me picking hards too often. But again, there has to be someone who covers the hard part, no? Because if everybody covers the easy, how would anybody move to the harder part? वैसे भी easy तो is out of question these days. Anybody is able to solve it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I think on the Go for Gold, I taught a camp, and there I covered the ideas of Bourmeier's voting algorithm for finding the majority. And that similar idea, I think, came today. Somebody mentioned to me on LinkedIn. I've not seen the question, by the way. Okay. Easy के लिए YouTube भरा हुआ है. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, cool. So we will discuss LeetCode questions today, and it will take some time. This is sorry for not streaming the LeetCode contest, but to be very honest, I had been seeing some contest. Like before I start streaming, I sometimes look at the last problems and see if it's worthwhile, if I will be able to see some problems or not, like teach you some technique or not. But in most cases, I couldn't. Okay, give me quick 1 minute. I'll just quickly grab delivery and then we'll start. Right. So open up the LeetCode contest, last 10 contests, all 10 contests. Okay. Okay. For Uber 6-month internship, OA plus this tips. Uber loves DPs now. So I feel you should prepare DP very well, at least the harder parts of DP and graphs. I mean, for harder like companies, you know that, right? Delivery से याद आया मेरा टी-शर्ट का है. Dispatch हो गया, guys. So we are integrating the tracker links also on the website very soon. So you'll be able to see the tracker link of deliveries soon on the website. Okay. Okay, I think I'll just share my screen and we'll start discussing the problems. Square point का idea है क्या? अरे मेरे बहुत students square point में already है. in the in last year's placement. Idea तो है, देखो ठीक है, but idea लेके क्या करोगे? ऐसे कितनी कंपनीज है, कितनी एचएफटीज है, हाउ मेनी क्वेश्चंस, पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आर सो मच. यू आर लाइक कि विवेक क्वेश्चन पेपर प्रेडिक्ट कर दो. I mean, you have to watch a lot of questions to be able to see, but I think if I have to say, I feel I do have a good amount of hit rate if I have to predict questions. This has been from longest point. मेरे खुद के कॉलेज के पेपर्स में भी मैं अच्छा प्रेडिक्ट कर लेता था. है ना? सो बिकॉज मुझे बनाने वाले की फितरत समझ में आती है थोड़ी, कि वो क्या ट्रिक्स चेंज करने के, मतलब लोग ना, मतलब व्हाट कैन इंट्रीग समवन टू क्रिएट अ क्वेश्चन, वो मेरे को अब समझ में आता है बिकॉज ऑफ ऑब्वियसली एक्सपीरियंस. So that's why sometimes I'm able to predict the techniques that you need to know. Okay. Chalo, let's get started. I'll share my screen and we will slowly open all the contest questions. Of course, in the interest of saving time, I'll not be coding the questions, or maybe if one question has some really good idea, we'll see. Okay, so on the YouTube's description, I'll just open my own YouTube and see. I just want to, yeah, I just want to go. So in the description, you can see the links of the contest, right? Here I have added all the links of the contest, which will be going through one by one, right? This is the description of today's video itself. And we will go through all of these one by one. And explicitly for these 10 contests, we will go through the last questions only, right? Because of course, time, right? So we'll go through the last questions of these 10 contest, and we'll start from 468, 467, 165. So we'll go backwards, right, from recent contest to the older contests, right? And we'll open up the last problem of every contest. So, and for now I assume that for the easier ones you can always read solution, and you can also get explanations from GPT and all. So that's why I'll just go through the last problems, and if they are easy, I'll just quickly cover them and move to the next one. Okay. So let's start. Last lies the boring things. Yeah, maybe we'll look at it. We'll look at it. I don't know whether it will be boring or not. I'm not given all the contests, right? Few of them I had seen. One or two I know are boring, so that's why I did not even take the LeetCode stream, because a boring question में पढ़ा के क्या करूँगा? I mean, I know if there is nothing to teach in the stream, it's no point in taking your time or my time out. No, मतलब क्या फायदा करके, जब मुझे पता है कि उस पर कोई टेक्निक ही नहीं है जो तुमको सीखने को मिलेगी, right? So we'll start from the last contest 468 and we'll try to solve these questions. So complete beginner, I got depressed when doing CP. Any suggestion? Complete beginner depressed doing CP. अरे डिप्रेशन तो स्टार्टर पैक में आता है सीपी का, राइट? डिप्रेशन इज अ स्टार्टर पैक थिंग फॉर सीपी, राइट? द मोमेंट यू थिंक यू नो डीएसए वीएसए करके. Good, Jasimus. Okay. Okay. So this basically says exactly k distinct subarrays. The value of a subarray is max minus min. As soon as I read this statement, I understand that max, as you increase the size of the array, it keeps increasing, and min decreases. So this is a very monotonic function. I can see that immediately. Total value is the sum of values of all shows in subarrays. Return the maximum possible total value that you can achieve. Okay, nice problem. Nice problem. K distinct subarrays. Sparse table. Okay. I'll just move into this. Just a sec. What's the other page open? Okay, I'll just share the drawing pad as well. Yeah, I think we can think of it like, yeah. So Yeah, I was gonna say that the k up to 10 to O of n square can also be a problem. But when I think about this problem, it's like as soon as you think of a subarray L to R, I have to get, so there are O of n square number of subarrays. Out of them, I have to generate, or I have to get the sum of top k values, right? Out of n square subarrays that are possible in subarray, I have to get the top n subarrays. So if I think about fixing L, as you keep increasing R, the max will go up, the min will go down, right? This is the first thing that you have to see. So as you are going forward, the value is increasing, right? So out of everything that starts from L, the maximum value you will get at n minus 1, L to n minus 1, right? And then the second largest you will get at n minus 2. Then the third largest you will get at n minus 3, and so on, right? This is what you can do. Now, if you think about another stream which starts at L plus 1, from this onwards, I think there will be more subarrays. Again, the maximum will be till this. So what we can do is we can always maintain for this, what is the best you have seen till now in a priority queue. Yeah, I think priority queue, what you are suggesting was probably the solution idea. So it basically says that I can maintain a priority queue. Do you all know priority queue, right? Extension contribution technique. Yeah, correct. So over here, we can think of for a particular L, right now the n minus 1 has the maximum value, right? This is the maximum value, and the value is suppose some x. Then L plus 1 to n minus 1, the maximum value is suppose y, and so on. This is the values, okay? Now, if I have to get the first best, it will be the one of the ones that are highest in this. Suppose this x is the best. In this case, I can say that from L to n minus 1, it is the best. In fact, it will be from 1 to n minus 1. Sorry, 0 to n minus 1, because the whole array will have the maximum minus minimum as the max, right? So this is the highest possible value that you can get. Then what will I say is, I will insert L to n minus 2 with its value, say z, back into the priority queue. I'll delete this element. I'll insert this back into the priority queue. So what is happening? It's like one subarray. This is subarray starting from here, subarray starting from here, subarray starting from here, right? So if you start here, there is 1, 2, 3, 4. If you start here, 1, 2, 3. If you start here, 1, 2, 1. So out of these, you know that if you take till the whole, you will get the maximum. So these are the max values. Have you solved this problem in linked list called merge case sorted linked list? How many of you have solved this problem? Give me a quick +1. Merge k sorted linked list. Have you solved this problem? Merge k sorted linked list. This is a very, very classical problem, I think. I think most of you guys would have been solving this in linked list. Okay. This is a very standard problem. Merge k sorted linked list. And there are many ideas. One is like you can do 2-2 merge, or you can do it with priority queue. The priority queue solution is something we need in this question. This is actually based on this idea. Okay. अभी इसके इंटरव्यू में लीड कोड का फोर्थ क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं. डू दे आस्क फोर्थ क्वेश्चन लेवल क्वेश्चन इन इंटरव्यू? सम गुड कंपनीज यस, सम गुड कंपनीज यस, बट it's a good proxy of OAs in my opinion. OAs sometimes comes harder than the fourth problem of LeetCode in my opinion. Okay. And it never hurts to learn a good problem. So I think fourth problems of LeetCode are something I actually recommend a lot of students to solve. In my opinion, if somebody asks me, Vivek, which contest should I give? Number one, LeetCode weekly, to explicitly solve the third and fourth problem, because 1, 2, so you guys would be able to learn eventually. Third one needs you to learn good techniques, and fourth one needs you to learn harder techniques, right? So these are something that you'll have to focus on. And the second thing that I recommend students to give is AdCoder. I am no longer a big fan of Code Forces anymore, because of like so much of hype of Code Forces rating. People use it for the wrong reasons. AtCoder, I think, is still a little pure, and even though its rating has no value, and that's actually good. I feel ratings were actually meant to motivate, but now it's demotivating, right? Because of cheating and all. So AtCoder is still a very good platform. The ABC contest that happens is a very, very good contest to give. I think some E and F problems of ABC contests are very good that you can solve. Okay. CF Div 3 and educationals are also good. CF Div 3s, I think next thing would be CF Div 3 and educationals rounds. Right? If my third recommendation would be then this. These are the three types of contests that you can give, try and give. Okay. So over here, we have, if you have n sized array, there are n different arrays. So we will maintain all these things. Suppose this is the highest value. So we will pick this out, say this is the largest, remove it and add this one as the next potential. So there are n sorted arrays. Get the top k values. Doing only is my priority. Yeah, that is the first priority, but like these are good contests to give. I mean, even beyond AZ, I feel. AZ is for learning. Once you are done with AZ, then you should give these contests. Working professionals, yeah, you can stick to LeetCode Weekly and AdCoder. I still recommend AdCoder because it just helps you think better. AZ is like collection of all techniques needed for all this. Like all the techniques that you need in third problem, fourth problem, E, F, in these contests, you will learn them in AZ. But then you have to give contest and hone your skills of solving them in the time pressure, no? And sometimes you'll also learn new techniques, new ways of modeling, new maths and stuff. Okay. So this is the idea. Let's not go there for now. The idea was to find the largest for every start. This is like contribution technique. For every start, figure out what is the best you can do, and we know that is end. If you know this is the best, take it out of all, and then insert the next subarray in the potential list. Yeah. As I was saying that we use monotonic stack to find out the contribution. Yeah, that is actually also true. Like you can actually figure out contribution of min and max, and then maybe try to do that as well. But I think this is a way simpler solution, in my opinion. I don't know, like both would be, I think both should be possible. I think of this directly of this because of this monotonic function. Okay. And by the way, how do you find, suppose you know L to n minus 1, you know the GCD. From this, can you find L to n minus 2 GCD? Yes or no? Can you figure this out? Can you find, if you know the GCD of the range, this to this, can you find the GCD of this range from this? Yes or no? Give me just yes or no. Yes, how yes? Yeah, it's ulta. It's no, the answer is no. Right? If you have A, B, C, GCD, you can add D by taking GCD again. It will give you the GCD of whole things. But if you have GCD of all, you cannot find the GCD of this much. Okay? So you can't do it. So you will have to find L to R GCDs. What is the technique to find GCD of range L to R? Sorry, GCD is not required, right? In this case, I was actually solving another problem which had a similar. I was searching the link, I could not find it. Suppose this same question was of GCD and all. Okay. No, not segmentary. To find L to R GCD, you can find that in order 1 or order GCD complexity, and that would be something you can use using sparse table. Okay, this same technique can be used for GCD also. If the question would have said value of an array is equal to GCD of L to R, this is a problem that I had seen earlier. I had seen this similar problem before in this format. The value of the array is the GCD of the array. In that case, what happens is when you start from L, if you keep cumulatively GCDing new numbers, the GCD can only decrease. Do you understand? If you keep taking new numbers from L, L to L, the GCD will be A. L to L plus 1 will be A comma B, GCD of two numbers. It will be smaller than both A and B. Do you get it? Yes or no? Quick question. So this same idea can be used for any monotonic function, such as max minus min was kept on increasing as you went forward in the R. Similarly, GCD is a function that keeps decreasing as you take more elements. So in that also you can use this same technique, that you can maintain, hey, L to L can be one solution, L plus 1 to L plus 1 can be one solution. Whichever is max, you will take it and then you will increase it to one more length in the segment. Similarly, you can also do it for things like and, or, all these things. The same problem can be used for techniques like max minus min, GCD, and or. LCM, I think it will not fit. So I think generally it doesn't, people don't give LCM. But and, or, GCD, max minus min, these are very, very common functions that generally are given as monotonic functions in array. And there are certain techniques that can be applied on this. One such is this idea. Okay. And I have covered some more ideas of and or in my previous live streams. Like there are only like log n different values that you can get from a starting point and stuff like that. Okay. So basically, when you are finding out from L to R, sparse table basically builds 2 to the powers things like 1, 2, 4, let's say. Suppose this length is 6. So you can figure out 2 to the power 4's number and 2 to the power 4 length at the end, and the GCD of these two segments will give you the GCD of the whole subarray. Okay. LeetCode 404 for and or technique. Okay. People who have watched my live stream know all these techniques, right? Acha, live class, I think AZ mein to padhaya hi hai. I think in my live stream also I covered some part of the technique. Nowadays in live I take another technique. Nice. Good to hear that, Abhi. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is essentially the idea, that you keep generating these solutions and you think of from a start what are the different solutions that you can get, and it's monotonically increasing. So that's why I sometimes say that Vivek, ye techniques dekhna padega. I mean, it's not like you will know these techniques. Okay, cool. Shall we move to the next problem quickly? I think we have to speed up a little bit. I am not really interested in solving 6-pointer problems. Kar loge ye problem? Is this 6-pointer problem? Seems like a subsequence is stable if it does not contain 3 consecutive elements with same parity. It feels like some DP problem, no? Basic DP problem. Is this a basic? This is a basic DP problem, right? DP of I, last to last parity and last parity. As soon as you see that you have to maintain 3 consecutive element of a subsequence, so the subsequence you are building, you will maintain the last to last and the last one. Ending form, not really. Like, I think I'll do it in form 1. If you guys have watched my YouTube's DP thing, DP workshop, I think you will know the forms. So I would use form 1, like DP of I, last to last and the last one. So then I can decide if I want to take this or not. Ye to bahut easy hai. Yeah, comparatively this is easy. Okay. I know that maybe the last problem might have been better, but in the interest of time, we are doing only the last questions for today. Yeah, it might be good. It might be good, but again, you should show that. Okay. But in the interest of time, I hope you understand that we'll have to skip it. Since it's not medium and today's stream's name is all hards. Sorry, it might be better problem, but we'll have to skip this for today. Okay. But you guys should try this problem since Laksh is saying that it might be better problem than the last one. So you should try it. But it's out of agenda for today's stream because I had mentioned that we'll solve all hards and we'll discuss the ideas for that. So last one was a very easy DP problem. I'm not discussing that, but again, if in case you guys are new, it's a DP form one. Read my workshop if you haven't learned forms yet. Okay, very elegant number theory plus maybe it might be very good. Okay. So when you are building a subsequence, when you come to this element, you want to decide if you want to attach this to the last subsequence or not, right? So in this case, you will maintain DP of you're at ith element and the last parity, which will be just a 0 or 1 value, and last parity. So whatever sequence you have built, like there are some elements which you have not taken and some elements you have taken. If you want to take this out of the last two taken elements, it should not form a consecutive same parity. So you maintain the last to last parity 0, 1. That's all you have to do. And there are two transitions, take or not take. That's all this question asks. If you guys learn DP framework very well that I have taught on my YouTube, I think half of LeetCode's problems are like is like very easy for you. We only need last parity here. It asks for 3 consecutive parities, right? I don't know. As far as I read the problem, it was 3 consecutive parities, no? पूछ सकते हैं भाई, पढ़ लो. अभिषेक is saying हाँ सैमसंग में पूछा था, so पूछ सकते हैं. I think what I'm thinking is also simple enough. I'm not thinking too much then. Okay. Maybe. Okay. Okay. So you are maintaining the length of how much match. Are so then you are doing just same parity count, right? Like what is the last parity and the length you will maintain, you are saying something like that. Isn't this better then? Tarun is saying, yeah. So Tarun is now placed. Tarun कहाँ लगा? बता दो सबको. I think Tarun has also been regular on my YouTube. Yeah. Solved 4 problems today. 4th was just bullshit. It confused myself. Okay. भाई आपके वजह से हो गया. कहाँ हो गया वो बताओ. वो तो गया ही है. वो तो मैंने बता दिया. ये medium will skip this for now. We'll go to biweekly and then this XOR subsequence. This somebody mentioned was some XOR space question. Somebody came to my LinkedIn and said, Vivek, you had taught XOR space and I could understand it because of that. Was that the case? पता नहीं किसने बोला था XOR space आके बोला था मुझे कुछ तो भी. Okay. अच्छा OR dash dash dash. Tarun is being like OR dash dash dash. Guess the company name. ORA. ये क्या है? Yeah. Yeah, of course it's Oracle. Yeah, so this problem I'll not discuss. Instead, this is also a problem where you need to know the technique. There is a technique called XOR basis, and I have taught that on my YouTube, which is like if you know, it's super easy thing. If you don't know, this is one of best videos on my channel and one of the best techniques that I myself have learned in my competitive programming journey. And there are super hard problems of this, CFF related and all. If you know this technique, you can solve these problems very easily. How many different XOR values can you create? Is this something you can create from the XOR basis or not? All these kind of ideas that are there in XOR basis, you guys can understand this from this one. Number of different XOR possible that you can generate. What is the minimum XOR that you can generate? Okay. ये recent code shift पे भी आया था. Okay, good. So this is a technique that you have to learn. If you haven't learned this, then there is no point in doing that. If you have learned it, it's like 1 second problem for you. Okay. So you have to get good collection of techniques and weapons in your arsenal, right? Depends on the type of war you are going into. You have to choose kind of weapons that you are going to have. If you are going into battle with problem 4 of LeetCode, you better need to get good war weapons with you, because questions में ऐसे ही आएंगे. Try के problem, strings के good techniques, XOR basis आ रहा है, segmentary आ रहे हैं, right? Okay, we'll see. If it comes in the last 10 contests, then we'll see it. But you have to learn these techniques. These are covered on my YouTube channel. Like, these are winning techniques. Okay. Winning techniques was a series I started, but then that time people were not watching it. Maybe I can continue it. These are like very good techniques. Probably I can teach some more good winning techniques that I've learned. Right. Okay. Like, these are things that you use to win contests in most cases. Collection of techniques. Yeah, till 2200, 2300, it's collection of techniques only. No, this is not too hard. This is not, if you watch this video, it is not too hard. Okay. So watch that video. I'll actually, I just closed it, but I'll just send the link. I'll send the link in the chat once, and then we will move to the next one. Okay. So this is the XOR space problem. You guys can learn it, and that's it. You have to see a good visualization for self-balancing binary search trees like AVL trees. So you have to see some good video on YouTube probably for visualization of it. Once you visualize it, you should try to code it once. Okay, next problem. So this was the last problem of this biweekly. Next, count binary palindromic number. You are given a non-negative number n. A non-negative is a binary palindrome if its binary representation reads the same from forward and backward. Return the number of such numbers k in 0 to n. The binary representation of k is a palindrome. Interesting. Yeah. Like, you can do it with maths, but I just wished this had 10 to the power 10, 10 to the power 100. I just wish this had 10 to the power 100 so I could teach you some good digit DP question, right? Like, you have to be, so basically this question is also something that is there in AZ. I mean, do you guys know, Jasimus, have you solved this question in AZ before? I don't know. In digit DP section, there is a question that covers this exact idea. Yeah, send it on in the LinkedIn. I think that will be there. Right, if I just quickly open digit DP. Yeah, palindromic number, I think, might be the question. Yeah, so you basically have to generate palindromes in digit DP. Basically, the technique is, how do you generate palindromes in digit DP? Okay, देखो, yeah, this is also a little bit around the similar idea. Okay, but again, I'll not go into this for now. As soon as you read this problem, what essentially happens is, You have to understand कि ये question पूछ क्या रहा है. Okay, it's asking me to generate a number in 0 to n which is having certain criteria. As soon as you read problem, your brain should be like, अरे भाई ये digit DP हो सकता है. Why? Because it's like a big range in which you have to generate numbers which has following certain property. This is a very very common trait of digit DP problems. एकदम immediate marker क्या है? You have to generate a number in L to R such that some f of x is true, right? This is a very common trigger that, oh, this might be a digit DP problem, right? In this case, L is 0, R is binary representation of n. Like in this question you are given, I think, n, right? So if I convert n into its binary representation, you have to find a number x in binary which is less than equal to this in binary and 0 in binary. So suppose n is equal to 7, right? Or let's say 8. Okay, so you have to find a number in between these two numbers, right, such that it is also a palindrome. Okay, it is also a palindrome. How do you generate a number that is also a palindrome in this range? And since the lower side is 0, I don't need to check because 0 se to bada hoga hi. Matlab whatever number I create, it will be bigger than 0. So I don't need to check. It has to be just less than this. And I have to generate a number which is less than this binary number. Okay. Now there are multiple ways to handle this. The way I do it carefully when I have to place a palindrome is like, suppose I put x here. I know that I have to put a x here, right? If I know I put a x here, I have to put a x over here also. That is the idea because it's a palindrome number in binary format. Now, like special case being that if it's a leading 0, like if you have not seen a non-zero number yet, okay, so I can write something like dp of I. Have I seen a non-zero yet or not? Okay, and then I will maintain front tight and back tight. Basically what this is saying is, have I seen a non-zero till now? Yes or no? Front tight means whatever I have written from the front, is it less than this or equal to this? Okay. Back tight means whatever I have generated 1 0, is this number less than this, equal to this, or bigger than this? Okay. This is a technique that you can use in digit DP, which I think very few people know actually to use this. That you can maintain a non-zero. Front tight means the number that you have generated from the front till now. So I'm just going to elongate the number a little bit more. Okay. Suppose there is a 6-digit binary number, some binary number, right? And you are generating x, which is also going to be maybe 6-digit. So when you are at this I, suppose you are at dp of 0, you are at the 0th position. You have not have you placed a non-zero yet? No. Front tight, is it whatever you have placed, is it equal to 0 0 0 till now? And back tight means whatever you have placed, is it equal to this side also or not? Like as assuming imaginary zeros at the front and back decimal point here, let's assume that. Okay, no, SOSDP is not the same concept. It's not the same concept. So when I am over here, I can choose, maybe I'll put a 0. So since I have not faced any non-zero, I will go to simply dp of 1, and this will be my configuration, that I have not placed any 0 and it is still 0 0 0, but I have, since I've placed a 0, I am now, my front tight is free because I am strictly less than n now, but my back tight is no longer free. It's still 0 0 0. Or I might have gone to, let's say, like this side will be easier to compute. I'll just show the other side, which will be more interesting. Suppose we are still tight. Tight means, is it equal to whatever leading things are there or not? Now if I place a 1, it is still equal. So I'll go to dp of 1. Since I placed a 1, I have to place a 1 here also. Okay. Now, is this equal to this? I have placed a non-zero. Is this equal to this? Yes. Is this equal to this? No. Is it bigger? Yes. So 0 means less, 1 means equal, 2 means greater. So I'll maintain that I am right now greater. Okay. Now from here, suppose I place a 0. So you will place a 0 here also. So now you are still equal. dp of 1, you have already placed a non-zero. So you are still placing both the side. 1 here. Since you placed a 0, you are still tight. But this time you see, even if this much was bigger than this, since you now got a digit which is smaller, it will become smaller. Like something big than this. But if this is 0 and this is 1, then this will become bigger than this, right? This is the idea of back tights if you want to use this in a problem. Okay. But I think in this question, if you have till 15, I don't know how many bits will be there. It will be less than like, it will be like around 25 bits. I don't know. Like 10 to the power 15 is 10 to the power 3 whole to the power 5. 10 to the power 3 is 2 to the power 10 to the power 5. So this is nothing but 2 to the power 50. So 10 to the power 5 is approximately 2 to the power 50. So I can generate 25 bits with all possibilities, concatenate it like backwards and try to think if this much is sufficient with this. Some brute force logic might also pass in this question, I feel. Okay. So that is another idea. But again, in this problem, I feel this is the ideal solution for this. Okay. This is the ideal solution, that I non-zero, front tight and back tight. Generating all palindromes. Yeah, I mean 2 to the power 25 isn't that big, right? I mean, if I think about it, it's not that big. It should be able to do it. I feel it might work. If you pre-compute it in the code and put, I think brute force will work in this question probably. But the ideal solution, if n was up to like 10 to the power 100, then this was the DP solution for this. Okay. So this is an idea called backtight, which I think very few people know. I don't know if people have solved this or not. This is called backtight idea, that from backwards also you will maintain if it's less, equal. And when you just place them side by side, then you will merge them together. That if it's equal, if this is equal, then this side matters. If it is already less, then this side doesn't matter. Okay, this is the idea. But you have to check it also. So you have to be very efficient in that, in my opinion. Okay. So 2 to the power 25 bits, you have to generate the 25 bits of n and see which all are possible quickly, and then maybe go forward from there. Or you can also try to place key, hey, if this is 0, how many things are possible? If this is 1, solve it recursively for the rest. Okay. Okay. This is the idea for this. TLE, I mean, like pre-compute it, no? Like you should have pre-computed it. At compile time, it should compile exactly, like run exactly once, save all primes till 10, till reversible 10 to the power 7, and then run it for every test case separately. I don't know if it should have passed, I think. Okay, but this is the ideal solution, DGDP based. Okay, so this is the idea for this problem. We'll move quickly here. I know some of you might have some doubts here, but try to listen to these ideas and try to be like, acha ye cheezein mujhe padhni hai. Sometimes I feel my streams are not exactly like an editorial stream. It's not like you guys are absolutely learning the technique immediately in the stream, but you would also get insights कि अच्छा ऐसा भी कुछ होता है, ये भी एक चीज सोच सकते हैं, and then you can dig deeper on it. Okay. You are given integer numbers n. For every positive g, you have to find the beauty of g as product of g and the number of strictly. Okay. Okay. For every positive integer g, we define the beauty of g as the product of. Okay, so we have to basically find this. We have to basically find this for all g's. Find the number of increasing subsequence of n whose GCD is g. Okay, interesting, interesting. Okay. So here they are asking product for every number g, we g into number of increasing subsequence of n whose GCD is g. Strictly increasing. So it's strictly increasing, right? It is strictly increasing. And the GCD is g. So there are only certain multiples of g that are possible in the increasing subsequence. And I can figure out in which positions they might go to. Okay. Because if it's strictly increasing, we will, it has to at least, like if g is, for g, if it's g is not equal to 1, then it will double, and very quickly it will, like the length will be log n only. So g equal to 1, we have to solve, and g equal to 1, how will we solve? I think the better way would be to do inclusion exclusion. ये थोड़ा हार्ड प्रॉब्लम लग रहा है. 7 पॉइंटर ही है, पता नहीं क्यों, बट दिस इज गुड प्रॉब्लम. Every time I see new hard question video, a new unknown term I hear. Okay. Okay, this contest was really hard. Okay. This seems like a hard problem to me. तो यही वाला स्पॉन्सर्ड था क्या कुछ? ये तो इजी क्वेश्चन नहीं है. For every positive integer g, we define the beauty of this. So we have to find number of increasing subsequence whose GCD is g. Okay. Chalo. This is a problem which is worth taking up. जिसका मुझे immediately solution नहीं दिख रहा है because there are like multiple concepts. I can feel the concepts. This is the difference. मतलब मेरे को सिर्फ क्वेश्चन पढ़ के मुझे फील हो रहा है कि इसमें GCD G चाहिए. G equal to 1 solve करना might be hard. For 2 onwards, I can see since it's strictly increasing, तो double होता रहेगा maybe. Not really double, like 2 के multiples at least लेने पड़ेंगे. It will strictly increase. Yeah, this is like a div 2e, correct. Number of increasing subsequence whose multiples are different. How many primes are there till this much? I think if I divided, if I take like some n by log n, like 10 to the power 3 primes, 10 to the power 3 primes will be there. But then I cannot do inclusion exclusion on that. Then I have to do inclusion exclusion on the values of GCD. Time running up. Time तो running up हो रहा है. ठीक है. चलो, this problem I'll see at the last. This seems like a good problem. I'll explain this. Don't worry. This is a good problem. बाकी देख लेते हैं कुछ easy problems हटाते हैं पहले. Okay. Minimum operations to equalize binary string. This feels like some maths problem. I don't know. N comma k. Yeah, like you have a string, how many zeros and how many ones you have. From there, you can do bunch of operations. So you have to figure out what is the shortest path to n comma 0. Right? Yeah, this is also a good problem. Okay. Yeah, correct. Correct. So this is also another. So I'll explain this problem. So suppose there is n length string, right? So there will be like we can choose a subsequence, which means it basically boils down to x ones and y or n minus x zeros, right? So if I just save a state x, we know that n is fixed. So from x, I can choose some number of like zeros to be converted to one. So I can choose k zeros, k plus like k minus 1 zeros and 1x, right? Suppose there is 5 ones and 3 zeros and k is equal to 2. So I can choose, I can go to 7 comma 1, I can go to 6 comma 2 because just a sec. No. If I'll choose 0 here and 2 here, it will convert to this. If I'll choose 1 here, 1 here, it will remain the same. And if I choose 2 here, 1 here, it will become like 5 comma 3. So I can go to these states from this, right? So from 5, I can do plus 2 k times till its limit. So from 5, I can do, since k is equal to 2, I can increase by plus 2 to 7. And I can do a plus 2 to minus 2 to 3, right? So if k was equal to 3, then I could have done plus 1 plus 3 minus 1 minus 3. So there are a bunch of transitions possible, right? Okay. So we are at a particular x from here based on the parity of k. Like k, if k is equal to 3, we can go to plus 1 plus 3 minus 1 minus 3. And if it is suppose some even number, then you can go to plus 2 plus 4 and so on up till k, and minus 2 minus 4 up till k. This is the idea. So these are the possible states that you can go into. So you can see that I can either flip the parity if k is equal to odd, or I can stay in the same parity if it is even. So now I just have to be able to add these edges very, very fast. Right? So I will maintain a set which will contain all the states 0. So odd, non-visited, even, non-visited, right? Suppose I'm at x and I'll maintain a visited, like which all elements are visited in the BFS. So we are doing a normal BFS. Every step takes one cost, one move, right? So if you are at x, based on k and the value of x, you will choose one of the sets on which parity you can be on. And you will see which all states have you not seen before. All those things you can reach. If this can be reached in some d distance, these things can be reached in d plus 1 distance. That's the idea. All the, like suppose k is equal to 3 and x is 4. So if this is 4 and k is equal to 3, you can go to 5, you can go to 7, you can go to 3, you can go to 1. So in this odd set, suppose 1, 3, 5 was already visited, 7 was not visited. So these are alive. So you will pick these, you will mark them visited in the BFS, and you will put them into the queue, because these are at a distance d plus, like the x distance plus 1. From x, I can go to plus 1 if k is odd. So let's assume k equal to odd. Okay, so plus 1 plus 3 minus 1 minus 3, right? K equal to 3, let's say. So what will I do is, if x is odd, x is even, say, out of all odd elements alive, alive means these are things that have not been seen in BFS yet. You can quickly go through the ones that are in the range x minus 3 to x plus 3. You can find that by doing a lower bound on this odd set. Okay, so whatever elements are in this range, in this x minus 3 to x plus 3, all the odd numbers, all those states will be at, if this is a d distance, d plus 1 distance. So take them out and put them in d plus 1 distance in BFS. Since there are n states, you will reach every state exactly once. So this will be an n log n kind of solution for BFS. Okay, that's the idea for this problem. In BFS, I hope you guys know, right, that you do need to maintain which nodes are visited or not. So out of all the non-visited ones, this is what we can do. इसका एक मैथ सोल्यूशन भी है, आई थिंक शुड बी पॉसिबल, मतलब मे बी ग्रीडी तो यार बहुत प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ती है अभी. इट्स लाइक do this diff to C ladder on EZ. That is, I think, very good for constructive and a little bit diff to C problems. Okay. Okay. This is the idea for this problem. This is actually a good problem. Okay. There are more problems like this, like you maintain the state and you do BFS. Every move is like a BFS. Whenever you get a problem like minimum number of new moves, start with thinking about it like a BFS graph and then try to see if you can optimize this. Okay. Okay. I just remembered a very interesting trick, which is approximately 2400 rated. But we have more problems to solve. Chalo. Maybe some other day. DP with cost plus one plus cycle BFS. Yeah. No. It's beyond the limits of this class for now. Suppose you are given a question where you have an array, and suppose from one node you have to add edge to a range L to R. But if you do it, it will become linearly this much, right? The way we can do it is we can build segment tree on top of it. And then if you want to connect this range, you will add it to the appropriate login nodes in the segment tree. So the super nodes will be the nodes of segment tree. That's another technique that is also there. It's called bubble cup trick. So any range you can add edge in login edges. But this is like a little harder idea. Okay, cool. Next problem. Now this first time appeared in this contest called Bubble Cup. Okay. There is a contest. Are these techniques that you guys see on LeetCode, on code, at least Code Chef? I don't think these are like all original problems. They have appeared in original contests somewhere other than this. And those ideas are repeated in most cases. This has appeared for flow also, like when in flow also, when you have to add edge to a range, you do this. Okay, cool. Next problem. बबल कब से, बबल सॉर्ट से आगे नहीं बढ़ पाया मैं. ये तो खो गया ना. अच्छा, ओके. कितने प्रॉब्लम है भाई? There is an endless trait wall populated with some robots and wall. You are given integer robots wall. This. Every robot has one bullet. It can fire to the left or right at most distance. This. The bullet destroys every wall in the path that lies in that range. So it basically clears a range. Ith position and distance. Okay. If a bullet hits another robot before reaching wall, it immediately stops and that robot cannot continue. Okay. For it's basically you are given bunch of ranges and you have to see how many maximum number of walls you can fall. Okay. Yeah, this is actually a code forces problem I had solved somewhere in some live class. I don't remember. This is a code forces problem. It's like there are bunch of points where you are given that there is a d distance, like power, and you can make it fall on the left or right. And there are certain interest points which you have to cover with this line. Like if you make it file left, it will cover this much, right? These things. So for the first robot, it always makes sense to go towards the left if there are things, or it will go towards the right. Something like this we can try and do. Yeah. So let me see the constraints one. We can do some sort of greedy also, no? I don't know. Like a DP we have to do. Yeah, in greedy class I had done a similar problem. Yes, I remember. I remember somewhere I had seen similar. Okay, so if you fall on this side, it will cover this much. Then if you make it this fall this side, so you'll have to solve this as a problem. And then if you make it fall this side, then you have to solve this as a problem. So it's like an ending DP. So we can start with either side, like maybe the last one. If you make it fall this side, you have to solve this as what is the optimal value for this much. And if you make it fall this side, then you have to solve optimal solution for this much. Yeah, woodcutter CF. Correct. Thanks for giving me the name. Yeah, this was the problem I remember now. Yeah, so if you make a point fall on either side, like it will cover a particular range. You have to process as many trees as possible, and if it falls on some other point, then it cannot be used again, and something like that is there. This is exact same problem as the problem that came. This is the same greedy plus DP idea, or like it's not really DP, it's more like a greedy idea. You guys can read the tutorial of this. It's a very good problem. This is the So most problems are like a progression. Like unless you have seen something like this before, you cannot solve the harder version of it. Right. And LeetCode force problems are generally the hardest version of those problems in most cases. Right. So this is the first progression of this problem, that you must need to learn the technique of this. Okay. I didn't understand the question. Question comprehension though is a different thing altogether. Question comprehension though you have to improve English. Draw करना पड़ता है. So I don't know if you realize this or not, but in most cases, probably I do better than most people is because I can draw things immediately. I don't know if you realize this or not, but probably since as soon as I read the problem, I'm able to draw this. Is the reason why I'm able to do better and faster than most people in contest. Okay. The difference between senior and like junior competitive programmer or solver, problem solver is basically in their multiple things, obviously like speed of typing and all these things might come into picture. But one of the biggest thing that I feel is visualization. I can visualize a problem very, very fast. Okay, I can visualize a problem very, very fast. And then from this visualization, I can connect it to already known techniques. Obviously, I know a lot of techniques, and that's why I'm able to solve many questions. But since I visualize this, then I'm able to connect it to some known problem before that I've solved. And as soon as I draw this now, my brain was telling me that Vivek, you have seen this problem somewhere before, where this problem has also the same visualization. I don't try to correlate कि अच्छा ये same question का text कहाँ पहले आया था. You can never do that. Okay. Okay. When you abstract it to the visualization is when we can correlate it to another problem of similar type. है ना? जैसे I don't know if you guys have learned machine learning. तो ऐसा होता है ना कि sentence you cannot match, but once you convert it into their embeddings, then you can find their similarity. कि अच्छा ये दोनों हो सकता है similar concept है in different domains. है ना? सो दैट एम्बेडिंग करने वाला मॉडल थोड़ा अच्छा इंप्रूव करना पड़ेगा दिमाग में. ओके, ज्यादा डीप लर्निंग हो गया. चलो नेक्स्ट. ओके, so solve this problem is the like solve this problem first. These kind of questions have come before in 2019 code force, FB hacker cup 2018, 2019 or 2020 FB hacker cup also had multiple questions on this idea that there was some stack left right falling and stuff that related to this. So it's like something that comes very often. This is a very common strategy of problems. So solve this problem, you will get the clear idea, and then solve this problem. You will be able to solve it. This is doable if you solve this problem. Okay. Okay. Next problem. So I'm going a little faster. XOR after range multiplication. XOR? Where is XOR? Okay, XOR after all the answers. Modulo is given in XOR. Achha, okay, first you have to just build the array and then XOR. That's the bekar question. Like XOR is just bogus. It's just last end thing. You have to build the array, I feel. You have to update elements. You have to multiply something in the range. So let's go to it. So the jumps are of ki. Okay, this seems like a square root problem, I feel, because jumps of ki length prefix sum karna hai. So if this ki was not given, suppose ky is equal to 1 for every problem, every question. If ki is equal to 1 for every problem, then you can solve. Then first you have to know how to solve this. Yeah. So if ki is equal to 1, in L to R, you have to multiply V. So you can use the partial sum technique, right? I have taught partial sum techniques. You guys can access it on the website. It's freely available. I don't know if you have learned it or not. Guys, तुम लोग best resources जो free में available है उसको तो use करो at least, right? If you are given L to R, you have to multiply V. You multiply V over here and you divide by V over here, and that should be enough. Like when you now do prefix multiplication, this will be multiplied V, this will be multiplied by V, multiplied by V, multiplied by V, multiplied by 1. So prefix product, if you create array, then you can do this multiply by V in a range in order 1 using what we call as partial sums. Okay. Why are we not submitting answer? Because we have 10 problems, and solving 10 problems, either I can explain it or I can code it. Probably it will take more than, will go beyond 12, 1 o'clock also. Maybe someday I'll do some fun stream, where we will just do marathon solving coding of questions, right? I'll explain them as I'm typing, maybe. But I don't think many people will be able to understand what I'm typing unless I explain it. Okay. So prefix product is a technique that you can use. If you multiply by v and divide by v, you should be able to find it. Assuming that v is not 0. Is v 0 possible? Ah, nice. They have saved us from the trouble of maintaining which ranges have become 0. That is anyways easy. It's not very hard. So first thing is, you have to know this technique. For ki equal to 1, you can do this prefix product. I have solved similar problem in my square root wala video also. If you have watched it, I don't know, on my YouTube, there is a square root ka course also. Then if you have a certain ki less than, suppose greater than square root of n. So it's like you are given an array. You will update here, update here, update here. If ki is greater than n, how many positions can you possibly update? Even if L is equal to 1 and R is equal to n, the number of positions with a gap of more than root n will be less than root n. Okay, square root video, Vivek. Okay, I'll explain. I'll give you the link. Square root decomposition. It's also one of my favorite techniques. Square root decomposition. Vivek Gupta. Right. Out of these 7 forms, this is one of the forms. You just watch the video. This is the block technique. This is the block jumping. Okay, intralinks and block jumping. This is again Moore's algorithm. Then recompute after certain points. Then this is heavy and this decomposition. This is query after square rooting. And this string technique that is over here, this, where do you go? Block intralinking. These are all ideas there over here. Okay. So if and in fact, if you, I'll just share the link of that also for you all. Yeah, this is tough. I'll agree. Like, we are in the realm of the hardest. This question solve कर रहे. Okay. तो इसमें तो रहेगा. There was a yeah. Oh, this is bulking. I'm finding a code chef problem which I had solved, which had similar idea, that you had to I'll have to search for it. Anyways. Okay. भैया, being zero करके कंपनी है हायरिंग के लिए सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर इंस्टेड दे हैव हायर्ड टू टीच DSA और सीधा ड्राइवर शीट पूछ रहे हैं, ऑर्डरिंग भी चेंज नहीं कर. ठीक है. Yeah, you have to solve a good amount of problem. That's always there. So if you have ki greater than n, then you have updating only less than root n. So maybe process that query immediately, like go and update these. If it is less than root n ki, then we can process ki equal to 1, ki equal to 2, ki equal to 3, all of these separately, ki equal to root n. For each of them, all those which have 1, they will be updated in the same way, the way we discussed, like multiply by v, divide by v. For k equal to 2, you can also do the same thing, like you will multiply by v and divide by v, but this time this v will be propagated to 2 steps forward and then 2 steps forward, like it will build the prefix sums in that way. Okay. So for root n things, you can do O of n later on difference array techniques. For greater than root n ones, you can process them immediately to get the value. This is the idea, that you break the query's behavior based on the type of value of k of I. Okay. So you have to know this square root decomposition type of problem. I have solved similar question before. Okay. Vivek, at the end तो यही हो रहा है कि can you give me all these things? सब question बता दो, all the ideas that are there. Sadly, it only comes after the difference in number of problems, new ideas solved is definitely one metric. I have solved 3,000 plus problems, and I definitely have seen more ideas than you. So that is why I'm able to solve them so fast. So you have to increase the number of ideas that you have solved. I mean, when I teach in AZ also, like the goal is to increase the number of ideas that are there. Okay. Is your opinion on not watching? I think many people do this mistake. Like first 20 to 30 minutes should have an effort of trying to solve it on your own, and before you see code there should be at least 20 to 30 minutes of coding effort. Okay. Because I'll give you my view. To be able to appreciate something beautiful, you need to have tried yourself on why the other things that you might think on your own are bad. When you try certain things here and they are not working, and then when you see a beautiful idea, is when you retain them for very long time. Similarly, when you try to code for sometimes and you're not able to solve it, and then you see someone's code which is very clean implementation, is when you retain that for very long time. Okay. So retention or your brain's encoding is directly proportional to how much effort you put in yourself first before that. If you go through videos and be like, oh Vivek, ये solution, ये code हो गया question, है ना, वो बस वही क्वेश्चन होगा. You will never be able to generate new codes yourself because you never did this. You will be never able to generate new ideas because you never did this. Sadly, somebody told us that in your college engineering exams you can memorize and you can get marks, and maybe the same thing you can do in this also. Sadly, all value in life is not memory based, or it's retention of good models and not memory. Because memory तो जीपीटी का तुमसे हमेशा ज्यादा रहने वाला है. You can never beat machine in memory. कितने ही क्वेश्चन याद कर लो, कितने क्वेश्चन का कोड याद कर लोगे, कितना काम का एपीआई का सिंटैक्स याद कर लोगे. There is no value in memory, but retaining flows or models on how to solve is what actually has value. So unless you do this two effort, तो पूरा waste है problem. And as long as you do these two things, तुमसे खुद से नहीं हुआ, दोनों नहीं हुआ, तो भी चलेगा. There is no problem in that. If you are not able to solve it or you're not able to code it, but you did these two efforts, you are a winner at the end. Because you learned something beautiful. दोनों में से तुम जो हटाओगे, people skip this. I have seen people going through playlists on YouTube and वो पहले वीडियो देखते हैं, मतलब they try but they are not able to solve it. They watch the video, तो ये थोड़ा बहुत होता है, but then they also see the code and they come back and then they try to code it themselves. तो उसमें क्या coding बचा? And then what happens when you don't do this is your implementation skills are poor. कुछ भी सोच ले रहे हो बट कोड नहीं हो रहा है, नंबर वन. नंबर टू, योर डिबगिंग स्किल्स आर पुअर. यू कैन नेवर परफॉर्म इन अ कॉन्टेस्ट विद दीज टू. कॉन्टेस्ट में कभी रिजल्ट नहीं आएगा इफ यू डोंट हैव दीज टू स्किल्स, even if you know what is DP, what is graph, and that is why people are not able to do it. And this is retention of good techniques. यहाँ तो good techniques सीखने के लिए क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा. That is there. Okay. So these simple metric of a win on a problem is, did you do these two things or not? Okay. You can sometimes not do something. It's not like एकदम hard and fast है, but I think you should. Mostly what I feel is 20-10 is good enough number. I feel अगर तुम अच्छे problems भी solve कर रहे हो तो, that you try for 20 minutes, नहीं हुआ, ऑनेस्ट 20 minutes, यानी कि इंस्टाग्राम चल रहा है साथ साथ. 20 minutes you try, and then you look at the idea. 10 minutes you read hints and solution. You get some gist of it, and you then try to understand and code it. But then you still could not code it, and then you could see the code idea. That's enough. But AI beat top coder in contest recent. अरे फिर से वही बात. अरे तुम्हें तो AI को बीट नहीं करना है ना, तुम्हें तो बाकी इंसान को बीट करना है. It's sadly the problem is right now in evaluation metrics people have somebody better than all humans. It's like everybody's playing chess but with engine, है ना. अगर chess.com में हर कोई chess engine यूज कर रहा होता तो chess का जो हालत होता वही अभी मे बी कॉम्पिटिशंस का हो रहा है इन सीपी डोमेन, बिकॉज मनी इज इन्वॉल्व इन इट, है ना. चेस में मनी इन्वॉल्व नहीं है, इसलिए पीपल डोंट केयर अबाउट चीटिंग. बट what has happened is in chess also we have an engine which can solve better than all humans. In CP also we have AI which can solve better than maybe most humans. Okay, so in chess there is no monetary incentive in most cases, and monetary, wherever there is monetary incentives, they are offline. All monetary incentives are offline. In CP what has happened is the monetary incentives of cheating is online, so people will use AI. I know that is the issue. But don't be like कि तुम AI से भैया मैं तो AI को कभी बीट ही नहीं कर सकता, तो चेस भी खेलना छोड़ दो फिर. I mean like if somebody says कि भैया मैं तो इंजन से बेटर कभी चेस खेल नहीं सकता, अरे तुम्हें तो बाकी ह्यूमन से अच्छा खेलना है. ओके, सिर्फ जॉब चाहिए तो फिर तो पढ़ के कुछ ना कुछ तो जॉब लग ही जाएगा. आई फील मतलब हम जितना पढ़ रहे उतने में हो जाता है जॉब का. बट वही है कि आइडियली यू शुड ट्राई टू बी डिसेंटली गुड. मतलब तुम्हें एक बार ऑफ ह्यूमंस तो कवर करना ही पड़ेगा. I usually find it hard to identify test case where it's failing. Should I question? Yeah, you should look at some questions, some test case on your own. There are ways to generate test cases where you are failing. I've covered them on some debugging session on my YouTube. Probably I'll see, find it out sometime. Debugging is an art. You have to learn it like other topics. भाई आपकी चेस रेटिंग क्या है? होगी कुछ मतलब 1800 टाइप्स होगी. क्या है मिनिमम कॉस्ट विद teleportation? You are given this grid 0. You can move right and down. You can teleport to any cell with this such that, oh, very beautiful idea, very beautiful idea. You can teleport at most k times. K should be कुछ तो small होना चाहिए. हाँ, कुछ तो small है. This is a very good modeling problem. This is a very, very good modeling problem. Nice. हाँ, ग्राफ. ये तो जिन्होंने वो डाइक्स्ट्रा वाला ए बी प्रॉब्लम, you could do this very easily, I feel. Yeah, this is, you can solve it with DP also. Because since the K is limited, you can do it with DP also. Came in Barclays way. Okay, this was same question. Kya? You can do it with DP also. The reason being because every time you use this, even though the cost is 0, you are strictly using its count. So it will move to a new node. So basically in this case, you will be at X, Y, and the state will be of the graph. I don't know if you have learned graph formulation yet properly or not. State will be X, Y, number of moves used. Okay. So from this, you can always go to X plus 1, Y, same number of moves. Or you can go to X, Y plus 1 with number of moves same. Or you can go to some A, B, which is of smaller value, and number of moves as plus 1. Right? Since either X is increasing or Y is increasing or number of moves is increasing, it's a DAG. This is not a graph. This is a DAG. I mean, it's a graph, but it's a DAG because either the number of moves will strictly increase, or Y will increase, or X will increase. So I can short say that this is a DAG. Do you understand? Since either this will increase, or this will increase, or this will increase, I can never come back to the same state again. So this is a DAG, so we can use a DP in this problem. Okay. So this has one cost, zero cost. So I can simply write the minimum number of moves needed is either 1 plus dp of this, one plus dp of this, 0 plus dp of this, whatever this is, and a comma b can be all possibilities. Okay. Now, in my opinion, there are ways in which we can optimize. So now, how many a and b's can you go to? It will be order n into m, because you can potentially go to a lot of states. So for every O, so there are, how many states are there? N into m into k, number of states, because this can take n value, m value, k value, n into m into k. For each state, you are doing this computation. And here, these are fixed, these are order one. There is a O of n into m. The complexity of this will be O of n square, m square, k. Okay. So this is good solution, but I think we can do better, in my opinion. Like from this, which all values can you go to is something you can optimize very easily using the value nodes. Like suppose the matrix is 1 2 3 1 2 1 3 1 2. So I can create a value, a node 2, node 1, node 0. I can go to this, I can go to this, and from 2s I can go to the nodes that are at 2. From ones, I can go to the nodes of ones. So when I'm at 3, I can just simply say that, hey, for this node, I can go to this node, this super node, and then maintain the prefix minimum of these things, something like this. A little bit of super node types, you can construct it this way and it will work. It will be like just an order one transition for you now. So there will be n into m more number of nodes, because all the values you will create super node for them. I don't know if you have learned super node. I teach it in the classes, but super node is like for every value you are creating a super node and you are connecting that from that. For that value, you can go to these nodes. Now for 3, you can go to 2. From 2, you can go to any cell of 2 value, or you can go to 1. So if you just set this graph, and from 3, you will just, from this node, you just find dp of, instead of the cell number, you will say val 2, whatever is id for that, the previous value, and number of m plus 1. So this transition will become order 1 instead of this. So number of vertices will be O of n into m plus n into m, for these are new nodes for each value, and number of edges will be O of n into m into 2, because for every cell there will be 2 sides, 2 edges, plus for every like new node that you create, it will connect to all of its same type. So n into m more nodes. Okay. Yeah, you can convert it to an explicit graph instead of implicit graph. Instead of keeping it a grid, you can convert it to, like, you number these 1 2 3 4, and you will convert it to 1 2 1, like 5, something like this. So this is like in O of n into m into k only you can solve this. Sorry, there will be some k's here, right? So O of n into m into k only you can solve this problem. And that's the beauty of this, if you want to solve it, which is actually, I don't think that's the desired solution. This desired solution is something else, I feel. But yeah, you can do it. This, okay. So Jazimus, like contest number, it's D's solution, links of your solution. Laksh, send me that on LinkedIn. I'll send it on the Telegram group. Shall we do that for all the problems? हाँ, जितना करा है मतलब 10 contest only, so you just have to open and get me the solution links. Like just create like एक मेरे को वो मैसेज एक में बना दो यार, like just number and link of your solution, contest number and link of the D solution. Okay, just मतलब एक बार मेरे को एक जगह पे स्ट्रक्चर करके दे दो. I'll just send it across on the Telegram group. Okay. Yep. I have placement in 6-7 months. Should I focus entirely on LeetCode or code versus contest? Also, I have mastered NeetCode 250. Yeah. इंग्लिश कॉम्प्रिहेंशन इंप्रूव करने की टिप्स दो. इंग्लिश में बोलना प्रैक्टिस करो. आई थिंक आई डोंट नो. I think read a lot of problems and just try to draw more often, and read more problem statements and try to draw what it's trying to say. In this case, I feel solving a lot of easy problems helps. But there are both type of practice, right? If you solve a lot of easy problems, then you can read problems better and do these things better. And if you feel that it's not enough, then maybe English is something you have to improve at. Free graph on this, yeah, not possible. I feel graph is one of the best resources probably. I think many things are there. Make aptitude free. I think we are making one more course which is 30 days of aptitude. Probably that will make available for everyone. Okay. The detailed resources though, I think is something that even a lot of tie-ups are there, and probably like many people say Vivek ye free kar do, but there are like a lot of things are like something that we have as a B2B tie-up with colleges, so not everything can be made free the way you think, है ना. कोई channel बताओ English improve करने की. Start making tutorial videos on YouTube. Believe me, it will change your. If you make 20 videos, you'll be on a different level of explaining problems. Yeah, DP is needed. Like learn the DP framework that I've taught. बता रहा हूँ, your life will never be same once you have learned DP framework. I think most who have learned it on the chat can write a +1. कि DP framework सीखने के बाद at least life में DP तो आसान हुआ है, कुछ तो आसान हुआ है. I'll not say कि every problem you can solve, but at least it has become easier than what it was earlier. And instead of like random thinking, you now have a structure in which you can approach a problem. है ना? So DP framework is something that I have taught on YouTube. You should definitely study. +3 क्योंकि 3 बार देखिए वो वीडियो. Makes sense. Yes, graph and DP is now doable now. Yeah, वो तो है. Structured thinking is super important in my opinion. There's no other way of replacing it. Okay. So this is like graph modeling problems, graph formulation problem. This is a topic I take for a week. मतलब इसमें बहुत problems बन सकते हैं actually. Yeah, DP graphs are go hand in hand. True, because both are like state formulation problems. Both are state formulation questions in most cases. ट्रायोलॉजी ओए का हार्ड डीपी क्वेश्चन मुझसे सारे हुए, एजेड का पढ़ा था. हाँ, तो एजेड में भी बहुत हार्ड ही है. आई थिंक इफ यू सॉल्विंग एजेड वाला डीपी प्रॉब्लम्स तो यू गेट गुड आइडियाज ऑफ दैट. कैन यू टेल मी वेयर आई कैन गेट दैट प्रीक्विजिट फॉर दैट बिफोर स्टार्टिंग योर प्लेलिस्ट? आई थिंक मोस्ट थिंग्स आर लाइक कि तुमने अगर कोई स्टैंडर्ड यूट्यूब प्लेलिस्ट डीपी यूपी की देख रखी है या कुछ तो बेसिक पढ़ाई रिकर्शन की पढ़ाई कर रखी है, तो यू कैन स्टार्ट विद द प्लेलिस्ट. इफ यू डोंट नो रिकर्शन, if you don't know what DP means, then probably you are not on the right channel. My channel is, I think, a little harder than usual. People, like there are 3 levels. I have explained this multiple times. Level 1, programming language सीखो college में. Level 2, पहले basic DSA वगैरह पढ़ो. You can do it from YouTube playlist, Iver वगैरह जो भी जहाँ से पढ़ रहे हो, you can do that. Then level 3 है. Level 3 is when people come to me कि भैया basic तो पढ़ाई हो गई, अब मेरे को mediocrity से ऊपर जाके अच्छे problem solve करना सीखना है. Then is when people come to me. ठीक है, I just teach for that. आई डोंट वांट टू गिव यू अ फेक, मतलब मैं चैनल में बोलता भी नहीं हूँ कि आई विल टीच यू बेसिक थिंग्स एंड ऑल, क्योंकि वो मैं नहीं सिखा पाऊंगा, एंड आई डोंट थिंक आई एम द बेस्ट टीचर फॉर दैट आइदर, है ना. और इट्स बेस्ट यूज ऑफ माई टाइम. तो आई ट्राई टू टीच व्हेन यू आर डन विथ लेवल 2 कि हाँ भैया मैंने ऐसे शीट वीट के डीपी के क्वेश्चंस देख लिए हैं, थोड़ा ऐसे रिकर्शन समझ लिया है, देन अब मुझे बताओ कि मेरे से कॉन्टेस्ट के हार्ड प्रॉब्लम्स कैसे बनेंगे. देन इज व्हेन यू कम टू मी एंड आई लाइक कि अब ये टेक्निक सीखो. हाँ, ये भी एक चीज ट्रू है आई थिंक. अगर सिर्फ भैया सिर्फ लेवल 2 करके भी हो सकता है क्या, हो सकता है, बट यू विल नेवर हैव दैट लाइफ कॉन्फिडेंस कि द थिंग इज कि कितने लोगों का नहीं हो रहा है ये कोई नंबर नहीं बता रहे ना अभिषेक. व्हाट यू आर सेइंग आई नो यू आर राइट. द थिंग इज कि लेवल 2 तक करके भी हो सकता है क्या विवेक, हो तो सकता ही है. तुम बिना पढ़ाई भी तुम्हारा क्या पता लक किस्मत चमक जाए, सेम ही क्वेश्चन आ जाए कल, है ना. तो हो तो सकता है, बट क्या लाइफ में कॉन्फिडेंस कभी आएगा, नहीं. इट्स वेरी हाईली लक डिपेंडेंट इन माय ओपिनियन. ठीक है, जितना तुम लेवल ऊपर जाते रहोगे उतना तुम्हारा लाइक डिपेंडेंसी ऑन लक कमते जाएगा. WCPC के लिए नो, आई थिंक दैट्स ऑनलाइन, बट अगेन happy to interact with all students. I might be like in a travel mode sometime. I'm planning to go to Kolkata probably for Durga Puja. अभी तो finalize नहीं हुआ है, but I think might go to Kolkata. देखते हैं. After Durga Puja, I'm there in Kolkata for some time, so maybe we can schedule some college sessions. If somebody is interested, mail me at vivek@the.red and I'll probably plan. Where do you go through LinkedIn DMs? I try यार. देखो, I understand that sometimes you might feel कि विवेक आप रिप्लाई नहीं देते हो, आप अवेलेबल नहीं होते हो, बट द स्केल एट विच आई डील विद स्टूडेंट्स, प्रीमियम में भी बहुत स्टूडेंट्स है जो लोग मेरे को मैसेज करते हैं. आई हैव टू डू वन ऑन वन विद देम, like, so the scale at which I have to operate is little hard to do, but I try my level best to help anybody. अगर मैं कभी कुछ मैसेज मिस कर दूं तो एक बार विवेक कैन यू रिप्लाई दिस अगेन ऐसे मैसेज डाल दिया करो. डोंट फील शाई ऑन दैट एंड आई विल नॉट फील बैड अबाउट इट. ओके, ग्राफ में हॉट टॉपिक फॉर गूगल कुछ नहीं यार. शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ, ग्राफ का हॉटेस्ट टॉपिक तो दो ही है, एक तो BFS DFS के प्रॉब्लम्स और शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ. The next best thing to AZ premium is probably CSCS problem set. True, I agree to that. Next best thing that comes even close to is like in AZ the idea, the technique, it's more about teaching framework and not about topics. But if you have to solve a problem set which is like not in premium and all, so the best set is CSCS. उसके बाहर तो I don't think, मतलब सीखने के लिए, and then it's giving contests. Yeah, there are some very good problems of CSS. I know that. Okay. What do you call a good rating? Night plus, I think, is a good rating. मतलब night plus, yeah, you should try to reach Guardian. Ideally, Guardian तो बन जाओ तो it should be good there. This stream is only for interviews. बहुत गलत जगह आए हो तुम. This is absolutely not for interviews. It's I do give advices on interviews and all, and we do take problems of interviews, and I try to give certain values. I don't know if you have seen the placement series, but उसमें बहुत अच्छे things है. Okay. तो मिक्स्ड कंटेंट से यार, आई डोंट बिलीव कि वर्ल्ड हैज स्टेड एट कि विवेक आप मेरे को एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड लर्निंग बना के दो. You might have seen my comment on LinkedIn, which is maps are for tourists and not for explorers. And ये दुनिया में जितने कोडर्स है ना, we can bifurcate them into 3 levels. One is being cop level, being soldier level, and being commando level. ठीक है. And there are certain companies जिनको स्टैंडर्ड माइग्रेशन, स्टैंडर्ड इंटीग्रेशन के काम के लिए ही लोग चाहिए, एंड यू डोंट नीड टू बी कमांडो इन दैट केस, एंड आई कंप्लीटली एग्री. ओके, मोस्ट प्लेसेस पे लोग सिर्फ माइग्रेशन, इंटीग्रेशन या बेसिक एपीआई एक्सपोज करके बस इसको चलाना, उस टाइप के काम भी लोग कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, सो for that you don't need to be a commando level candidate, I agree, but there are places where you have to think about harder problems and you have to build certain things, and वो places पे you have to have a problem solving model that is beyond people, beyond a certain level. ठीक है, नहीं हो सकता, मैं बता रहा हूँ तुम्हें, तुम वैसे कंपनी में जाके काम नहीं कर पाओगे जहां पर वैसा चाहिए. ओके, तो जैसे स्टार्टअप्स वगैरह हो गए, कुछ कुछ बड़े कंपनीज में भी कुछ कुछ टीम्स है जो बहुत ही कटिंग एज प्रोजेक्ट्स पे काम कर रही है. दीज आर ऑल लाइक सुपर इंटरेस्टिंग प्लेसेस टू वर्क एट, एंड you need to learn good techniques to think of something new, some good ideas and all. Okay, I think probably we should get Laksh on some stream. Kya Laksh, a lot of people have a lot of questions. Laksh को एक podcast पे बुलाए क्या? Jazimus basically, if you guys don't know his name. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Okay, placement podcast. No, we'll have to wait a little more for that. Jazimus, right? Chalo. If you're given this, a number is called special if it's a palindrome. यार सीपी ऐसे अलग से मत, सीपी डीएसए ऐसे कुछ डिफरेंट नहीं होता है. इट्स ऑल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग. हर प्रॉब्लम कुछ में कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग है. ट्राई टू लर्न दैट, दैट्स इट. इससे ज्यादा कुछ है नहीं दुनिया में. ओके, a number is called special if it's a palindrome. Every digit k appears exactly k times. Every digit k in the number appears exactly k times. ये क्या है? Oh nice. ये क्या है भाई? Smallest number that is greater than 33. Oh, interesting. Super interesting. So can I use 1 at the front? Oh, nice. Yeah. This is, I think, pre-computation only. Not many numbers would be there because you are basically dealing with this set, right? You're dealing with this set. 10 to the power 15. So you have 16, like 15 digits. So you're dealing with 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. Right? So you can choose which ones to take, not take, and then there will be like number of like bunch of permutations of that, right? So I don't think you can take too many of these. So you can just brute force all possibilities and generate all numbers. So this is a brute force problem, or backtracking. You can generate it using backtracking. Brute force problem, which you can generate using backtracking. That you will choose this or not, take or not take, take or not take, take or not take. When you have enough 15 digits, then you will permute them and generate all possible numbers. Basically, you are choosing to take 1 or not, take 2 or not, take 3 or not, take 4 or not. And once you decide on which numbers to take or not, you can just permute them to get all possible numbers and then save it in a number. सत्यम भैया इतना फास्ट कैसे हो? वेलकम टू माय चैनल. राइट. हाँ, रेगुलर तो रेगुलर नहीं है. हाँ, सही बात है. आई एग्री. Last stream system design got reading material in that round. Can use any backend like Go or Node.js. Okay. Yeah, you can use any backend. Akash, not exactly sure. Message me once like what exactly are you referring to? So this is how you can do this. Brute force. This is a brute force problem. Should have generate, like, how to generate all numbers is what you need to learn. And first thing is that you choose which ones, and then you can just put them in a sorted array and just do next permutation to generate all permutations of it. That will generate all the numbers, and there will be not many numbers. I think even you don't need to generate the next permutations, that, like, don't even need to do that. Don't even need to generate next permutations. You generate all possibilities and generate the smallest numbers in them. Okay. Okay. What is the time? 12:17. 1 hour 45 minutes. I can't solve all problems for ICPSC. Solve the ladders first. Oh, nice. So this is another technique which you guys can read once, which Lakshya sent, that you can offline run this code, generate all numbers, create an array, paste it in your code, and then use it. Sometimes in some platforms you might have limit on the compile time, and in that case your code might compile, like there might be an issue, but in most platforms you'll not have an issue on compile time. So you can hard code big arrays in your code, and that you can use in the test cases. कौन से वीडियो, मतलब टॉपिक वाइज है इजेड में, तो टॉपिक वाइज जो जो तुम्हें नहीं आता वो सीखो बैठ के. Yeah, that's a very hacky way, right? So did you understand what hack I talked about, that how to hard code an array? But tell some good resource. कुछ नहीं यार, there is something called as HLD primer, there is something called as LLD primer. I think one good resource that people don't know, I don't know why, is because is this LLD primer resource, right? Where, like, you can just search for this low level design primer GitHub repo, and there is a solutions repo. This has like a lot of good questions which are commonly asked, right? Their solution ideas and their solution codes as well, like videos as well, which you can watch. Movie booking, movie ticket booking, logger. Where is that? Parking lot कहाँ गया है? Parking lot elevator system कहाँ गया? हाँ, design elevator. These are like very, very common questions, and you can at least prepare them. Okay. This is a good resource that I feel, which is available freely for all. Right. What is LLD? Low level design. And high level design, so the best resource I feel is Alex Zhu's book. There's nothing like for interviews. I'm not saying that you will learn all of system design. For interviews, Alex Zhu's book is the first thing you should do. System Design Primer by Alex Zhu. There is a book. Generally, sometimes it's in machine, it's company specific in machine coding, but generally it's there. हाँ, yes, that might also be good. एक बचा है लास्ट, ये क्वेश्चन तो कर दिया था हमने. एक लास्ट जो हम स्किप करके आए थे, जो मुझे करने का मन नहीं कर रहा है, बिकॉज इट्स, I know it's a good problem, and it will take me, if I have to explain it, it will take me good amount of time. क्योंकि बहुत टाइम हो गया अभी. Okay. So basically for every number, so inclusion, exclusion, I don't know if there is like multiple concepts. Have you guys, okay, मैं बस techniques बता देता हूँ इस problem के. The way we will work is, this is something I've covered this in one of my math streams. Let me see. In my CSCS math streams, I've covered this idea of inclusion, exclusion. If you have not explored my channel, thoda karo. I'll tell you, you will get really good resources. This problem. This is the problem. Okay. Given an array, you are given queries. You have to find how many triplets are there which has GCD equal to the given number. Are you able to read this problem? There are a set of problems, set of numbers. You have to tell for a given number how many triplets in the array exist which has GCD equal to Q of I. Do you understand this is of similar nature? बस मेरा काम आज आसान हो गया. I have now the link which I can send you. Exact same idea. The inclusion exclusion that is used in the problem is almost the same. Just the increasing part वाला चीज एक separate है. But ये नहीं पता तो वो problem नहीं हो सकता. If you don't know this problem, then that cannot be done. So this is the link. Guys, if you guys, and in fact, a lot of people, if 15K people have watched this video, तो ये सब questions करो. मतलब these are good problems. This is actually from CSCS only. How many triplets have GCD equal to Q of I? These were old streams. These are like, I think, 3 years old. I've been teaching for too long now. Techniques पे more question कैसे ढूंढे? Not possible. It only an instructor or a senior coder can do it. I don't think it's that easy. I was thinking of doing this project once. कि यार I'll break down problems into techniques and build a map of them and then try to build some progressions. But यार दुनिया में time ही नहीं मिल रहा है, पता नहीं. Like 3-4 हजार problems लेके उन सबका break down कर दूंगा. Because now I have AI, I can like do that, right? I can do it very fast. तो उनको break down करके atomic ideas में break करके and then I'll build progressions in which you can solve a certain idea and you can learn them increasingly in difficult order. So it's a very good project actually to do. But बहुत सारे दुनिया में काम है. Sadly, ये अभी हो नहीं पाया है. भैया freshman year के लिए tips कुछ नहीं यार. Become very good at implementation. If you are good at implementation by the end of your first year and use your first year summers very well, you should be there. Learn interview questions. ये तो गूगल करो, मिल जाएगा तुम्हें. मैं क्या बताऊं इसमें. सर आप गांव शिफ्ट हो जाओ, टाइम ही टाइम. या टाइम तो रहेगा, अभी भी टाइम ही रहता है मेरे पास, और कुछ नहीं रहता है ऐसे. साथ सच समटाइम्स अभी मेरे को वापस जिम में जाना पड़ता है, तो मॉर्निंग वॉक करने आना पड़ता है, जिम जाना पड़ता है, तो फिर टाइम चला जाता है उसमें. बट बाकी तो एजेड के काम रहते हैं. रनिंग अ कंपनी इज नॉट ईजी. कर सकते. नाइस, मेक सेंस. नहीं, आई वाज थिंकिंग ऑफ 2-3,000 प्रॉब्लम्स. सो I also have sheets of questions that can be helpful, but वही है कि उसको break down करना पड़ेगा. Graph series. It's like too much to teach on YouTube in my opinion. But yeah, I can cover some ideas of graph definitely. I have covered some good ideas of graph, by the way. If you, मेरे channel पे बहुत scattered चीजें हैं, so maybe a lot of people don't do it. But if you actually go through a lot of videos of my channel now, over time you will actually collect so many ideas that you cannot really you will actually learn a lot. मेरे पास 2K bro. Nice, very nice. Okay. Can share any book on operating system? Galvani है यार, एक ही standard है उसके. तो can you give your LinkedIn? Guys, how you guys don't have my LinkedIn? Search Vivek Gupta. That's all. I think नहीं, ऐसा नहीं आएगा वैसे. आपके चैनल के रैंडम वीडियोस करके देखो तो. Sir, H1B visa impact on students and future of tech. Where are you going? Same dimensions. I think this is last question that I'll take. We have 5 minutes. So I think a lot of people have talked about H1B visa problem, right? And I'm not really someone who can predict things, but I feel as long as Trump is in power, like now you should never think about going to US at this point. Like if you are in US, good, stay. If you are in India right now, then don't try to go to US. Okay, because uh, stay and get the best possible thing. But if you are in India right now, then don't go to US, because I feel it's too uncertain, too much of a risk. You know, because approximately the rough cost of going to US with a masters and stuff is approximately 1.2 cr at this point. Okay, some say it's 80 lakhs, but it generally boils down to 1.2 cr. That is a very huge amount to take as a loan with the risks that are associated at this point. Okay, so probably that is the game. Two ideas that you can do, right? एक तो यार become really good at DSA and dev, वो तो करना ही पड़ेगा. There is no excuse for that anymore. So you have to cover that part. Okay, and then there are like a lot of new openings that are coming. Like I was seeing that there are companies which are hiring. एक तो ट्रेडिशनल अपनी इंडिया हायरिंग तो चली रही है, इंडिया की जो कंपनीज है, एंड देयर आर रिमोट हायरिंग्स दैट कीप्स हैपनिंग वंस इन अ वाइल, राइट? एंड आई थिंक इफ यू फोकस, लाइक वंस यू बिकम गुड, डीएसए टेक्स अप्रोक्सीमेटली 6 months, है ना? एजेड में भी हम 6 months पे लगता है, एंड उतना कर लिया तो आई थिंक एनफ है. 6 to 8 months I'll say, depending on where you are right now. If you're a beginner, then it will take 8 months. Okay, but once you're done with that, you should slowly progress towards dev. Start learning about system design, start learning about building real systems and stuff, and that will help you get these remote jobs. But this should not come at the cost कि मैं भैया dev ही करना है, remote job ही लेना, तो DSA क्यों करूं? ये जो लोग बोलते हैं, मेरे को लगता है बहुत ही थोड़ा ऐसे गलत नॉलेज उनको मिल गया है. ठीक है, इट्स नॉट लाइक यू डोंट नीड DSA. ठीक है, जिसका फाउंडेशन खराब है वो डेव भी नहीं कर पाएगा. ओके, तुम रटना एंड अच्छा करने में फर्क होता है. तो दैट इज देयर. व्हेन टू गो फॉर बिजनेस और जॉब, तो अभी तो स्टार्ट में लोग जॉब, डिपेंडिंग ऑन योर फाइनेंशियल बैकग्राउंड, आई फील बिजनेस हैज रिस्क रिवार्ड सिनेरियो. You can grow exponentially. Job में तो there is a linear scaling, right? Like you know कि 2 years पे you will jump a little bit, 5 years पे you will jump a little bit, but there is a linear, like say 10% increment, 8 to 10% increment every year. Okay. Okay. Business में it's possibly an exponential boom that might happen. So it depends where you want to play. Depends on your financial backing already. A lot of things. Correct. CSAs में there are questions that even I cannot solve. I'll honestly agree on that. उसमें जो additional problems है, उसमें ऐसे questions भी जो मेरे से solve ना हो. ठीक है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि it's not possible to solve. It's possible for everyone to solve all problems, but good ideas can be done. ठीक है. Depends on the type of corporate you are, and you should learn how to bootlicking. I think yes, there is some in some companies, depends on the culture of the company. There are some which is pure skill as well. Okay, you should know how to navigate corporate scenarios. I feel that teaches you certain things. Not watching editorials, no. I think that is a good pattern if you have a lot of time. Like I had 3 years and I did not watch a lot of videos. I was learning from blogs and solving problems. But if you have less time, then probably that's not a good idea, Sarthak. Like it will take a lot of time to build the pattern yourself in your mind. Instead you can pick it up from someone in the videos. भैया कितना गैप नॉर्मल होता है? आई थिंक इन रेज्यूमे डोंट हैव मोर देन 6 months ऑफ गैप. 6 months इन माय ओपिनियन, 6 months इज अ नंबर जो मुझे लगता है कि एक थोड़ा इसके बियॉन्ड, ग्रेटर देन 6 months बिकम्स लाइक लिटिल बिट प्रॉब्लमैटिक. ओके, गैप मीन्स करियर गैप, ग्रेजुएट हो गया पर जॉब नहीं है तो हाउ मच, 6 greater than 6 months इन रेज्यूमे में बहुत क्वेश्चन आ जाते हैं. जब कोई नया टॉपिक पढ़ता हूँ, माई फर्स्ट थॉट इज आई कैनॉट थिंक ऑफ माई ओन. या देखो, इट्स लाइक सेइंग कि भैया मैंने डिफरेंशिएशन का बुक खोला, उसका एक्सरसाइज खोला, क्वेश्चन करना स्टार्ट किया, मेरे से नहीं बना वो क्वेश्चन. अरे कैसे बनेगा, उसके पहले सॉल्व एग्जांपल देखना पड़ता है ना. Okay. HRs don't show their competency. यार ट्रू, आई फील थोड़ा हायरिंग वाला पूरा जो इकोसिस्टम है वो it's not working well, and sadly good talent are having to suffer, at least in their early years. I have never seen a very good candidate not reaching good places. ये तो कभी नहीं हुआ है. Okay, but eventually like in 5 years 10 years down the line तो लोग अच्छी जगह पहुंच जाते हैं जो अच्छा कैंडिडेट है. बट स्टार्ट में वो अर्ली करियर में थोड़ा स्ट्रेस आ जाता है लोगों को कि यार अच्छा हूँ बट फिर भी नहीं पहुंच पा रहा हूँ, बिकॉज ऑफ आई फील सिस्टमैटिक इशू, नॉट योर केपेबिलिटी. मुझे आज भी लोग पता है कॉल करके बोलते हैं, आई नो फाउंडर्स जो मेरे को मैसेज करते हैं, भैया लाइक विवेक, इफ यू नो समवन हु इज अ गुड कोडर एंड 3-4 year एक्सपीरियंस तो हमें लेना है उनको. बट वही कि फ्रेशर वाले मार्केट में क्या है कि कुछ भी ले लो तो चलेगा, ऐसा ऐसा एक मेंटालिटी हो गया है, एंड सिलेक्शन भी सही से नहीं हो रहा है ना. प्रॉब्लम ये है, दैट इज द इशू. I'm intending to solve this. Never tried CF. Should I start? Do the contest. You don't need to necessarily do CF. I don't think CF is absolutely necessary for getting job. सर लास्ट इंटरव्यू में रूबिक क्यूब वाले प्रोजेक्ट को इंटरव्यूअर ने नॉन टेक्निकल ही बोल दिया. अब मैं उसको क्या ही समझा दूं? कोड दिखा देते. Not necessarily, Jasimus. That's not true. A lot of people keep doing it as well, and people do CP in phases. Divanshu saying, Vivek, I am in B10 in between. I because of the job switch to Samsung, now continuing from Graph, loved it. Chalo, good, happy to hear. A lot of people come back and complete AZ. I know. Yeah, Abhishek, I think has resumed doing CACS and all now. So yeah, people keep doing things. Cool. Chalo. So we discussed almost all problems. A lot of things. थोड़ा डेव के बारे में बता दो किस में करे. I think if you have not decided yet, Spring Boot is a good place to learn. Multiple stack में कोई problem नहीं है. But from the market, I can sense Spring Boot has much more demand. So do Spring Boot. Node.js पे basic सीखो and then learn the foundations in Node.js and then do one project in Spring Boot. That should be enough for dev purposes. Even though I don't know Spring Boot, I have mostly done. I know basics of Node. मतलब कुछ ज़्यादा है नहीं, Express वगैरह, Node.js and all. But mostly I am personally more capable in Python and all. So Flask, Django ये सब मेरे को अच्छे समझ में आता है. And I've kept myself mostly on the Python stack. But again, I don't think that's the best build for a normal person. I would suggest Spring Boot has the highest rank at this point. Six-month intern, yeah, Ayush. I know it's sad actually. Opening नहीं आ रही है. I know that. ठीक है, देखते यार. I'm trying to. I have meet with multiple people this week. I'll see. Like I'm trying to build a placement pipeline here, but to be very honest, I have had connects, and there has been students who gotten selected in certain places because of my recommendation. But the type of result that I want to bring through AZ is not really like through the placement cell we have still not reached. I mean, it's a very big milestone and big challenge. तो कर तो रहे जितना हो सकता है. But tie up with Indian companies is like too much hassle. मैं सच में अच्छे टैलेंट किसी कंपनी को दे सकता हूँ, but then most are not interested. Yeah. कंपनीज को फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि उनको अच्छे टैलेंट चाहिए. Sadly. Spring Boot में मल्टी थ्रेडिंग एंड एलएलडी में काफी प्रोजेक्ट्स में इट विल गेट बेनिफिट. या इट माइट. हायर फॉर एचएफ क्या है यार? Probably in AZ Premium will have internal platform like that, but opening it for all might not be that easy for me personally, because एक लिमिटेड लोगों के लिए आई कैन ट्राई, बट सबके लिए आई कैन नॉट बिल्ड अ प्लेटफॉर्म. दैट्स नॉट ईजी टू बिल्ड, बट आई एम ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड समथिंग फॉर मोस्ट स्टूडेंट्स, and I'll showcase that once it's done. ठीक है, we are working on a new thing. I'll showcase when it's done. ठीक है. मतलब तुम लोग के जो लाइफ साइकिल में जो कॉमन प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं, स्पीडिंग अप एवरीथिंग दैट यू गो थ्रू, रोज रोज का ये एप्लीकेशन वाला प्रोसेस जो एक रोना रहता है ना. So how can we do better in that? We're working on that too. It's not about negotiation in salary. That is a different goal. AZ Premium में है कुछ अभी टाइप, ऐसे कोई अभी लिस्ट नहीं है, बट वी हैव सर्टेन कुछ कंपनी के साथ टाइप है, कुछ कंपनी के साथ बन रहा है. एंड ऐसे मैं मतलब इट्स मोस्टली पर्सनल बेसिस. मैं रिकमेंड खुद से बोल देता हूँ. आई नो सर्टेन फाउंडर्स जो वाईसी कंपनीज में है, जो ऐसे और कंपनीज के फाउंडर्स हैं, उनको मैं पर्सनली बोल देता हूँ कि ये बहुत अच्छा कैंडिडेट है, टेक एन इंटरव्यू. क्योंकि इंटरव्यू तक ही मैं पहुंचा सकता हूँ, मैं तो और कहीं तक नहीं पहुंचा सकता. ओके. So in AZ Premium, you have this condition of 300 questions and doing the dev task. That's like a bare minimum that I expect. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel I am trying to build a structure or a business in a space which isn't as rewarding as it could have been in other places. I think अगर मैं आज एक AI startup बना रहा था तो मैं millions में funding raise करके I could have done it much easily. Again, it would have had its own challenges. B2B company में अपने अलग challenges होते हैं. But like I don't really like the space at tech as such. मतलब it's not a very conducive space in my opinion. But again, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि eventually I'll build something good. I am proud of what we have built till now and what AZ has achieved. Maybe I'll showcase that someday. जब मैं एक दिन एक brag वीडियो बनाऊंगा कि भाई AZ ने क्या करा है, और उस दिन अगर जितने भी लोग DSA पढ़ा रहे हो उनकी देख के फट नहीं गई तो मैं पढ़ाना बंद कर दूंगा. ठीक है. बट I still feel that there is still miles to go. मुझे इतनी बताने की जरूरत नहीं पड़नी चाहिए. ठीक है. Cool. AI में क्या बेसिक्स आना चाहिए? Yep. Hi Bughead, good to see that. Put it, Dave, you can just put it on Gemini thinking, AI thinking models, and then probably it will tell you why it's not working. Yeah, cool. Chalo, this will be EdTech is a space. Yeah, I mean, it's a. So see, Abhishek is saying that people have not laid off. True, sometimes people lay off, but it's not because of like cyclic. Education is not going to go down, but I feel awareness of people are in a very different place, and there are so many players who are mis-selling कि वो कभी correct नहीं कर सकते हम लोग चाह के भी. So by the time people I have seen, by the time people have reached AZ premium, they have spent lakhs of rupees. ठीक है. तो सैडली बहुत सारी चीजें हम ठीक नहीं कर सकते. आई एम ट्राइंग माई लेवल बेस्ट जो कर सकते हैं उसमें, है ना. Asking, can I take AZ premium fourth year? I'd recommend third year. Try to do sheets and all in second year, third year a little bit, but complete it in third year so that in fourth year you can harness that in your placements. Lots of layoff. हाँ मतलब जो funded वाले edtechs का तो हो गया था क्योंकि funding बंद हो गई है. But most companies are cash positive in my opinion in edtech, right? They don't really need funding to run, including AZ. AZ is bootstrap. As of now, it doesn't need funding to run. But that doesn't mean कि I sometimes am not happy with the level at which it can go forward to. मतलब मेरे को जितना लगता था उतना होना चाहिए था उतना नहीं हो रहा है, because I feel India has certain nuances in it. Number one, price sensitivity in AZ in India is very high. Trust बहुत कम है tech पे. People don't pay for learning, and that's a default behavior. But people pay for learning at places जहाँ पर outcome कम है, systematically, because उनको पता है कि हाँ मुझे डिग्री के लिए इतने रुपए भरने ही है and all. So systematic problems है बहुत सारे in this ecosystem, and I cannot correct it. I mean, at this point, I sometimes also feel कि there should be a college instead of all these things. अभी तो सिर्फ समय रहना है भाई, समय रहना अलग इंसान है भाई. Don't compare. He is like different league altogether. इंडिया में DSA रोट लर्निंग, हाँ मतलब वही बात है, मतलब लोगों को उसके ऊपर बढ़ना भी नहीं है. दैट्स द इशू. द प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट अबाउट कि DSA में रोट लर्निंग हो चुका है. इंडिया में लोगों को उससे ऊपर बढ़ना भी नहीं है. Is it college in near future? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not yet thought about it. It's a different educational challenge altogether in its own. नहीं सौरभ जोशी मतलब कमाता होगा अच्छा खासा, बट उसमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें रेंटेड भी होती है. तो ऐसे मत सोचो कि सब किसी को दिखा रहा है जो एकदम ओरिजिनली है. ठीक है, लोग दिखाते बहुत कुछ है. ठीक है, you can't compare degrees with AZ. Probably you can, Ankit. You will realize when you get out of college कि मतलब the probability of an average Indian student out of any engineering college is as equal as probably doing an AZ course. दोनों की competence of getting a job, probability of getting a job is probably similar at this point in market. Trap in index maybe. Bro, how to increase rating in CF as there are so many cheaters, like dream of becoming expert will only be a dream. Not really. Keep pushing hard. I think once you reach the level of a CM, you'll immediately directly jump. So the cliffs have become higher. That's the thing. The cliffs of plateaus and cliff that you go in the journey, they have become higher. Yeah. There is a band of 1600 to 1700, 1500 to 1700 जहाँ पर बहुत cheating होता है. So you have to be like 1800 plus 1900 plus technically to be beyond cheating, ताकि तुम स्पीड में एटलीस्ट उनको बीट कर दो. Okay, cool. Chalo, this would be all from my side today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next stream whenever we have it. आजकल सिस्टम भी 1-3 years बंदे खोज रहा है. I guess 5 years should be mandatory to teach system design. Okay. So if you recruiters, I have done it course, nano take it seriously in comparison to the. No, nobody takes into account those also. Don't compare them. You can compare with college. At the end of the day, you are getting better. Yeah. Chalo. That would be all. Thanks everyone for joining in today. We had a long stream today. A lot of questions, a lot of ideas, a lot of discussion. We'll continue with these streams. We'll have a lot of good streams coming forward. I think one more stream is planned already, and I'll do that whenever we get time. That's probably Monday night or Tuesday night for sure, which is a hackathon round from Jaspe, which is pretty good, I feel. So we'll keep it up till this. We'll discuss more things in the next stream. Thanks for joining in, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new to this. But we keep learning a lot in these streams. Okay. Good night. See you all in the next stream. What is your salary? Kya question last. I don't know why Jaspe has the same question. This, yeah, tree of space. Yeah, we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that. Do you have a Telegram and Discord? Yeah. There is a Telegram channel which is only for announcements, most purpose. But I do keep putting good content every once in a while, and I think there's like very good value in that in being active on that channel. I have put in many content over there. रोज आया करो. Mortal Kombat. ये कौन सा प्रॉब्लम है? याद नहीं आ रहा है मुझे ऐसे नाम से. Okay, cool. This is the Telegram link. Thanks for joining in, everyone. See you all, and I'll meet you all in the next stream. Bye bye.